Hey, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain, and as you might guess, I follow a lot of crafting and LARP groups online and on Facebook, and in one of the crafting groups, somebody put up some dwarven coins that he'd made. I'll find an image and throw it up now to you. And there's nothing wrong with these coins. He made them out of Play-Doh and painted them, and nothing wrong with them at all. I just got inspired by these coins and thought, how would I make them? So, I've gotten my 3D printer waste basket here with rafts and my sandwich press and melting the waste from my 3D printer into the sandwich press. Now to stop it going completely flat, ooh, this is nice and gooey. To stop it going completely flat, I put some washers in the corners, and that's allowed it to keep to this thickness. So I'm going to let this cool, and then the plan is to cut it up on my bandsaw to make coins and put a design in them. Right, I've melted it down into a sheet. The sheet's not exactly flat, but it's about the right thickness for a trade token. So since I'm going to be using these in my LARP game for drink tokens at the tavern, it really doesn't matter that it's not perfectly flat. Now out of this I can only cut 11. As you can see, I've gone about 40 mils by 50 mils for the tokens. I'm going to have to melt another sheet to get my dozen tokens. So I'm going to take this across to the bandsaw and cut it down, and then hopefully we'll stamp a design into it. So now that the day has come to the end, I think I've learned a fair bit about this process. Firstly, I've been making these too thick. I was using 4 washers as spacing in the sandwich press. I should have only used 2. Because these, once I cut them out and reheated them with the heat gun and tried to stamp them, didn't want to stamp very well at all. This is one of the better ones. You may just see the line imprint in there, maybe. And since they didn't want to stamp, these will get chopped up and go back in the sandwich press, and I'll try again. Which is why you always keep all of your 3D printed rubbish to melt down and make other things out of. So when I gave up on using the line stamp, I looked through my leather stamps, and the bulkiest one I could find was a paw print. And the paw prints actually come up okay. So all I did to get it to this stage was to put it on a piece of timber. As you can see, I burnt my piece of timber just a little bit and hit it with the heat gun. And when the surface became nice and soft and gooey, I hammered the leather stamp into it. This then was undercoated with grey undercoat, hit with a bronze paint, and then washed green. So while these 4 coins are probably quite usable and probably will get used as tokens for my tavern, I think tomorrow I'll melt what I've got left here and make much thinner pieces, probably about this thick, and cut them up and try and stamp them and see if they work any better. So stay tuned for coins video number 2. But for right now, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain saying stay home and make something.